Welcome, my kin. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. Tis be Olin Odinson bringing unto you a Blood Witch message transmission, which, if you watch the previous one, is pretty much was discussing the basis of your ancestral bloodline. It has everything to do with just discovering everything that is involved with your line of ancestry and the power that you can tap into and how you can use that power, and pretty much awakening into your sovereignty, which is the essential basis of this video. Pretty much just stepping into sovereignty and mastering how to control that energy. So this isn't going to be a very long video like before. We're just going to talk about the stuff that I channeled. I channeled this way back, a few months ago, and I've been reluctant to release it because it's very out there. But that being said, if you are used to me, if you want to use that word, if you are used to my energy, then you are aware that my guides love to speak in parables and stories and all that stuff to leave space so that it can create the most universal language that there can be. My hands are buzzing for just everybody. Because personally, I genuinely feel I'm very sensitive to energy. That being said, I can feel when other people are uncomfortable with not understanding the information that I'm delivering, or just not understanding information in general. The energy of not understanding information is uncomfortable, isn't it? Yeah, that's why we keep it simple and leave the interpretation to those who perceive this frequency. That being said, there we go. We were brought to this rune here, Laguz. In Proto-Germanic, in Old English, it's Lagu. So we're gonna, but I like how it sounds with Lagu. So we're gonna stick with that. But yeah, the sea, water, ocean. Water has a lot of associations with healing and the flow and spirituality, so we're gonna stick with that. And I wrote this a while back too, just very randomly. I don't know when at all, but this there's a card in the deck that I normally use, the Fairies' Oracle, artwork by Brian Fraud, and text by Jessica Macbeth. And just flow, fulfillment. It can get chaotic. We're gonna talk about that right now. So the reason why I wrote chaos there, I got that randomly whenever I did, because when you don't use energy, it gets bottled up and it wants to release, it wants to yell, it's a cup that's overflowing. And when the cup overflows, it's fine, but if it continues to overflow, it does take its toll on the body. That being said, that's the whole basis of this video: mastering your energy and learning how to redistribute it in any way that you can. How that can be done is writing and talking to your guides, or just any form of spitting, artistic spitting, as I like to say. Now, I know not everybody likes to delve into the creative arts, so I don't want to get forceful with that energy at all, No. Free will. Um, that being said, the reason why things like writing or anything of that nature, it doesn't matter how you do it, honestly. Like, in my personal opinion, I look at everything as a form of artistic expression, whether it be teaching, whether it be mathematics, whether it be something, your mind is genuinely interested in translating external information into a way that you understand it, which is pretty much how I perceive art to be, is translating what's on the external world first through the internal. By doing that, by translating it through the external first, by translating it internally first, rather, you do not need to seek further guidance once you have that. Everything else is a form of verification. Everything else is a reflection of the communication that you're having with yourself, your higher self, and your guides, and everything of that nature. Now, that being said, we're going to talk about what I wrote here, which was when I was first learning about this deck. And if I'm being honest, I'm still learning about this deck. I'm 20. Ooh, we have a card prepared for us. I'm halfway into the book, but I like to have fun with it and just listen to my guides, because they love emphasizing to not rush it, to drink in what you can whenever you can. And it's just, it aligns with my time. Anyway, not explaining that. When I was beginning this journey, this fairy journey, I wrote this, and it was regarding to a line in discussing the card explaining unity, which pretty much, to explain that card, is all about all about just the energy and alright, calm down. Energy everywhere. When energy is everywhere, going back to the cup overflowing, when it's everywhere, it has to go somewhere. It doesn't free will, but unless you want the distortion to cease, unless you want, pretty much, if you just want clarity, if you just want simplicity, if you feel overwhelmed with the spiritual awakening, which I felt very guided, which was the essential basis of creating this Blood Witch label. Well, there's many reasons, but essentially, like I said before, it's ancestral. And when you wake up to your spiritual, when you are going through a spiritual awakening, you don't just wake up to one thing. You wake up to everything. The whole unity. The unity card. It's everything. Interesting. Look. So we have He of the Fiery Sword, which very, very, very powerful energy to be presenting itself right now. This one is the Heavenly Father in celestial reflection depicted in artwork. That being said, when you wake up to just the spiritual world, you start to wake up to everything. Now, that being said, you don't have to, there is no rush to do it all at once at all. It's just seeing what has got you here, what has woken you up to this spiritual reality. Whatever that is for you, that's very personal, and keep that. I mean, you could express that. You could speak your truth however way you wish. But what I'm trying to get at here is not everybody is meant to do what anyone else is doing. To take into consideration the other video I did about It's Going to Rain Violet, speaking of the twin gods of the lightworking community and all that stuff, with each activated seed, which each activated light worker is a new type of magic, a new type of ability, a new string, a dusty string made golden, if you will, and this is where it is an understatement to say everybody is unique. Like, even that cannot even be put into words. None of this can be put into words. We're all trying to perceive this the best way that we can, because there is this very deep understanding that all that is all that is, and it has been, always will be, and always shall be all that is. We embodying that in the physical world would cause an explosion of just realities that not a lot of people can handle. That being said, that is why it is very important to respect others and respect what their purpose is, whatever that may be. Now we're getting very general. All right, so going back to this though, pretty much the embodiment and controlling of your own energy pertains to what woke you up, what you wanted to do. And the lightworking community, the lightworkers, we're here to just heal, awaken other people to their personal truths, to awaken other people. Well, this is my take on it, to awaken other people to just create a safer environment for all that is. Not only that, it's many things. We can talk about it for ages. We can talk about it for ages. But there is the sword of truth here. There's this, he of the fiery sword is here to present himself today to just let everybody know there is no fear of the path. There is no, well, not that there is no, but there shouldn't be. It's a very easy process if you just let it be. If you just let it be easy and allow whatever comes to come and interpret it however way you wish, then this process doesn't have to be overflowy. It doesn't have to be a cup that is too much to process. And I also drew this. I can't even remember when. Probably a few weeks ago. Definitely. All of this began like right after January, and it done. Well, actually, my awakening began 2018. I was drinking God juice, and then January. That's what I call it. And then light, and then January I just started. Well, it's a whole mix of stuff. It's a whole mix of stuff. That being said, this is the best way to explain it. So, actually, I better say it first. Where are you at? Excuse me while I find this passage. Oh, I wrote it on this book. Oh, that's why, you silly goober. You silly goober. Alright, so, where you at? There we go. Ice shall thaw atop Mount Olympus at the mere acknowledgments of it. Just acknowledging the spiritual world. And this is the best way to say it. So you acknowledge, the second you acknowledge it, you start to work. And the second you acknowledge its existence during any point of the phase of the moon, reflecting into that. However, so going, okay, that goes deeper. So talking about the phases of the moon, and depending on how you wish to manifest, whatever it is that you want to manifest, and you work with the moon. That being said, that's a completely different topic and probably video, but we're not even there yet. But the simple acknowledgement of the mountain melts the ice. This is the best way to visualize it, and then it goes down into the cup, boom, 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 and then as lightning, as energy, so that water vaporizes, and then it translates into energy, electricity instantaneously. We receive that that energy, that transmission. The second you go through it, the second you do inner work, the second you meditate, the second you intake that information, you drink it, and then it goes into that cup, and then it fills that water throughout time, and then I don't even know what, I honestly don't even know what those symbols are, but it just came out. I'll probably research that when I have to, because there's a lot to be done. Anywho, so that being said, the mere acknowledgement, that's pretty much the best way to visualize it if you need to feel the white light coming in pure and clear and concise, aligned with your intent in what it is that you want to do in order to heal humanity and all minds and anything that brought you here. I'm not going to tell y'all what to do with your path. That's all up to you. I'm just bringing this awareness to the grand thing that exists and how we can work with it alongside our human existence, because at the end of the day we are human. We do have to interact with the 3D world, so we're not just gonna go around talking with our spiritual ego telling people to come on, wake up, wake, you can't do that, you know. It's a process. It's a steady, slow and steady rins the waste. I said rins, goodness me. So this guy just wants some love. Let me just give him some love real quick. Just wants some love. You're such a wolf. You're such a wolf. Okay, that being said, we're going to talk about the nine-tailed fox parable. So, I just wrote that down. That just came through whenever I wrote this, and we're just going to talk about it. Before we do, please excuse. As I do this spell, I'm going to put him outside so he doesn't whine. Up you go, buddy. Up you go. Okay. Smooth. Probably not gonna edit that out because of flow. That being said, let's drink some flowy element. Let's see, how far are we into the video? 17 minutes and 18 seconds. Grand. Okay. Going to just ground all that energy that I was just amping up. And now we're going to lighten the frequency. Should have done this at the beginning of the video. But nope, everything is done exactly as it is meant to, so we're just going to lighten the frequency as we transmit this energy into this now space. This is a spell. I don't, if you want to call it that, it's just merely an energetic translation of the guides and and the stuff that I'm channeling. So it's light. It's nothing pulled off the internet. It's homebrewed. I don't trust the internet. Of course, there's some salvageable information, but when it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to other people, I don't mess with other people's free will. No, no, no. So it's all about light and having that space between others. That being said, shall we begin? Let's. You won't know which tale is in a certain dimension until you ask. Like you, we can seek entertainment elsewhere, but we're more concerned with aiding than pleasure. Pleasure is a thing of the past, or rather, a thing of when we had 3 tails. So I was like, what does that mean? And the 3 tails. They said the third dimension and its material desires. There's that phone call. Let's detach for the material world for now. The person that did call has a rainbow emoji though, so that's cool. That being said, the third dimension and its material desires. That's the thing of the past. Hence the past, and the need to feel like pleasure is the only thing that mattered once completion of quantum achievement. AKA, a small taste of victory is not meant to last forever. It is supposed to be a well-earned break and space of introspection. And then I timestamped that at 5:22 p.m. Today is April 30th, the year of 2019. And then the guide spoke even further. When I discovered this, it took 9 spells. Where I discovered this, whoa, that threw me off. When I discovered this, it took 9 spells, where I ascended to the entry point of multidimensional simultaneous existence, aware of the other world while it's grounded in the physical world, keeping focus on the enlightenment of others to provide a safer environment for all beings in any existence. So that pretty much the whole beginning of the video was a interpretation of that information. And then we're just going to finish off with the rest of what's on this. Mixed with the information of Jessica Macbeth's words through the Fairs' Oracle, she wrote the text that explained the interpretation of this deck. Angels are the messenger of unity. They perceive the power of unity, the song of ecstasis, which is brought by the guardian at the gate, and then channel it through their songs into energies or powers, like love, courage, connection, intuition, and so on. Infinite source of a rainbow. Rainbow 7. So pretty much you can translate all that is in any way you wish. In any way you wish. It just has to, it doesn't have to, but it works best when you align it with whatever it is that you're wishing to do. Aligning it with love, aligning it with love. Aligning it with love. Which is what light workers are here to do. Just spread love wherever, whenever, when guided. Okay, that was beautiful. Anything else? Yes. Talk about your ancestry. Okay, so in discussing understanding your ancestry and waking up periodically to your eternal existence, waking up to just the awakening. It's when you look into your literal bloodline and seeing how it all plays out. So personally, for me, my dad's side of the family, he's a sibling out of 12 siblings. And my mom's a sibling of 3. And me and my brothers were 3. So we've prominently adopted our mother's energetic signature imprint, which is pretty much the purpose. The purpose being, how can we explain that? Just the trio, the power of 3. 3 times 3, 9, and then just spreading that outwards. Just looking deep. I use myself as an example because I read. You see how I just looked that deep into the littlest details of just what is factual, what is in physical existence, what is grounded, what is actually here, and reflecting that to these celestial realms and seeing how that can play out, a part of your purpose, a part of your path. So I challenge you guys to look into your bloodline, see where they're from, see how many siblings they had, see what that means, how many, since my father has 12 siblings, including himself, and my mother has 3, I'm not going to get into that, but there is this deep knowing about those numbers, and then you can know, reflecting that example of myself into you, you can see how many siblings you have, or if you're a single child, or if you are a single child, you probably have a more, it probably feels like you have a lot more responsibility, and you're starting a new something. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I know I'm omniscient and I know what your line of ancestry means. I just have discovered certain parts, certain grains, and I just know what I know now. All this information is, I wrote it through my guides and I just interpreted it now. So that being said, what I have said to you guys, that's what I know. And yeah, that being said, learn about your power. Learn about what brought you here. Inquire within. Through meditation, you'll start to remember. You'll start to backtrack on the memories you had and what they mean to your now existence, because there is only the now moments. The thing of the past is the 3 tails. Remember, it's too grounded in pleasure. The thing of 9 is the awareness of the other. And going even further, should you wish to do that, is interpreting it through introspection and seeing how that can be relevant to the now society, and then you just keep going 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and then yeah, I looked at 404. I'm going to attach some links to the other video I did about the chapters I wrote. I am writing a book. It's just it's a mixture of just fangirling and actual guides speaking through me. It's a mixture of both. It's weird. It's weird. You can see the human talking, and then you can see the guides talking. It's very confusing. That being said, there's a chapter called 4 Glitch, and yeah, you don't need to pay attention to that though. That's just for those who wish to inquire further. That being said, there is so much. As Neil deGrasse Tyson says, we don't know what we don't know. That was pertaining to the video where there was this discovery of the essence of dark matter. Actually, there was a recorded. I said this wasn't going to be a long video. Here we are. There was this. He talked about, my hands are buzzing even more. But there was this video discussing dark matter. It was like a big elephant was there, and then it just decided to move. So something was there, and it decided to move. So it was like an entire species that was next to us was ripped away, and all that knowledge that we once had, and we still have, because ancestors ourselves still hold that information, but nonetheless, time moves on, and it's the universe expands and continues to expand and spread, and I'm not gonna conspiracy that, but it's cool. I just want to say that the Library of Alexandria, I don't know, but that was a lot of knowledge that just went like poof. So I'm just put that out there. Yeah, we don't have a lot of knowledge of what they did in the past. That's why we're like, what the fuck? Like, how did they do all that? How did they create those pyramids so perfectly? Like, because they had a lot more knowledge. Although the dense minds who are so stuck in the ego 3D world of, oh, because this is the future and that's the past. We must hold more information than the past did. Does that really make sense? I don't think so, but everybody has their own opinion. All of this is just my interpretation of the light into this now space. And yeah, I'm talking too much. This video is way too long. That being said, my kin, light workers, I say to you, farewell. By the way, I forgot to mention the, because I ended that pretty quickly, and I already changed my shirt. Marry everything. But just to go back to add on to, the importance of why, there's an importance of why I mentioned that I embodied prominently my mother's side. Of course, I'm both a descendant from the line of 12 and 3, but because in this physical reality we're reflecting the trio pertaining to my mother's side, there is history of possession and possession, specifically along the woman sides though, with the feminines, and I predominantly embody the divine feminine, if you couldn't already tell, and um yeah, and pretty much my mom, I had a discussion with her. This is why it's important to delve as much as you can in the line of your ancestry and pull what you can so you can be prepared. So that being said, this is not meant to scare anybody. This is just an example of how it works. It's not like gonna be like this for everybody, but keep it light, and you have nothing to worry about. It's that easy. You keep it light, and the demons run away. They cower. They cower. They cower. When they see your light, they cower. They cower. And you could use the light in any way. You can use it with humor, which I use it with humor a lot, a lot. And I'm gonna give you an example. Well, I don't want to say too much because it's family history. It's kind of personal, but there was a possession, quite crazy. They had to summon a priest and all that stuff in the past. This was in DR, Dominican Republic, and that being said, there was, when I first started waking up, the first 2 months or something, I had all sorts of experiences. They did not want me to wake up. I don't know why. I mean, just because the darkness doesn't want you to wake up, alright? But essentially we control the darkness, so it's something to work with, and we respect it. Just respect all beings in existence, but obviously have your boundaries. So, that being said, what happened? Alright, so, well, I want to talk about a few things. Well, I'll talk about the 2 things that I can remember right now. The first one I want to discuss was, I was just in my room chilling. I was getting in bed, and then I heard, "Get out," and then my door closed, slammed shut. I was like, no. I was like, no, no, no. What you doing? What are you doing? And I laughed at it, and then that was the end of that. That was the end of that. And it was that simple. All you gotta do is stand in your voice, in your dominion, and prove your light. Not prove, but just be. Just be. Use your voice. Command. You can command those forces to fall away. You do not allow anything to control you. Do not allow anything to cause or drive fear into you, because they will. Well, certain forces will not want you to wake up, and this is not to drive fear into anybody. That's just how it played out for me. For others, it probably played out in other ways. And nobody ever talks about this because they don't want to seem crazy, but I could care less. I could care less about seeming crazy. Yeah. Anyways, what was the other one that we wanted to? And then, so since they couldn't get me in the physical realm, and then I woke up more and more and more. They were like, "Damn, homeboy's still not scared." So they tried to do a part 2, and yet again they failed. But it was something along the lines of, I forgot. It was a dream I had, and there was this. It was crazy. It was crazy. Whatever it was, it sliced my tummy open, and then I was in the astral state at the very beginning stages, so I didn't really know how to lucidly control my astral body like that. Now I'm fine. Like uh, this is spiritual attacks. Everybody has spiritual attacks, and what I'm discussing right now is spiritual attacks, and everybody receives it differently. I don't want anybody, please do not feel fear and be like, oh my god, I want that to happen. No, it's not gonna happen to you. It's just it's not it's just because of where my mind goes when nobody's listening. My mind goes far. All right, like I said, I am very sensitive to energy, so when I go deep, and I'm a Capricorn sun. Capricorns in the Mayan astrology, they represent death, so naturally Capricorns are always dealing with that stuff, and with whether they realize it or not. I'm going too deep into that. But yeah, this is all just my perception and the way I interpret spirit. So do not feel like you have to interpret spirit in the way that I do. This is just what I've gone through, and I am just making these videos specifically for those who are fearful to wake up even further for some particular reason, whatever that may be. Yeah, many reasons. Many reasons. That being said, yeah. In that dream, though, in that astral state, that demon sliced. I was actually painting and creating just cool stuff, and they tried driving fear into what I was doing, and they just didn't want me to spread my message. They didn't want me to speak my truth. Hence why it took me a whole year in order to start my path. Some people, they wake up, they immediately get on it. Some people, they wake up, it's different for everybody. It's so different. There's no judgment in how you start. There's no judgment when you start. It's all pertaining to the path you're on, and where you are wanting to go, and what you're wanting to manifest. Is if you want to manifest a lot, then be prepared. If you want to and like I said, not be prepared for what I've gone through, what I've gone through, and everything. Just being aware of your power and your sovereignty, that nothing can harm you. You are more protected than you know, and I'm going to explain to you. I was I was a baby light worker. I'm still and growing, but I was even a baby-er, in that at that stage, and it sliced my belly. And but then a goddess came in, and she put like some ointment on my belly and slayed the beast like that, and then boom, boom. Yeah. That being said, it just depends on your ancestry. My ancestry is very I have a very old soul, and if you look at my Tisby Olin Odinson's journey, I have two videos of that when I first started the channel. Just not everybody is an old soul, but I am a very old soul, so that's why I deal with these extremes, because my soul can handle it. You're not gonna. That's the thing. You have nothing to fear, because the universe is not gonna make you handle what you can't handle. I know I can handle this. I can handle this, and I've been handling it. And yeah, fearless. Fearless life, sovereignty. It's awesome. It's awesome. And all you need to do is be aware of your power, of your light. Because in the end, we prevail. The light ascends. Alright, so once again, I say to you, farewell, two farewells in one video. New record.